enduro bikes, and the only thing we didn't touch was Harleys, because there were enough independent Harley shops around then, back there, doing that sort of thing, and plus my two partners who were the mechanical geniuses in the operation. I was just the office tart and parts boy. But they had no desire to work on Harleys whatsoever, which coincided with my then belief about primitive tractors and the link between Briggs and Stratton and Harley Davidson, and they both come with Milwaukee, and the logo's kind of similar. And But anyway, back then, man, there were two key 1% clubs on the coast, Black Ewlands and the Finks, and they were all good old school bikers that partied hard, played hard, rode hard, could fix their own bikes by and large, all of that sort of shit. And it was actually a pretty cool little thing. Yeah. It hadn't exploded in the mainstream yet, and man, choppers were the domain of bikers. Yeah, they weren't a thing that everybody was onto, but as you said,
the Angels. It was still the Angels, and like the music was still attracted to that. Yeah, they was putting on their own festival shows, and
there was places like Bindoon in WA. There was Darwin River Rocks. There was Purga Creek up here. There was Broadford down in Vic, and
Prospect, we did a big one at Prospect.
All of those sorts of things going on. And it was it was good. It was hardcore, but it was good.
Yeah.
But like you said, man, iron and resin, and the guys with that operation, mate, a really good thing, because it just encourages, again, the broader community of motorcyclists to get together, go for a ride, have some fun, talk bikes, tell lies, and just enjoy it.
Yeah, yeah. And drink coffee.
and drink coffee and eat pies. Yeah. And get some pretty tasty merchandise as well, and including not only iron and resin, but including the Speed Merchant. And of course, Maxie's Death Collective, which is clearly going great guns and verging on interstellar in its
Well, listen, here's the thing: we're a funny town. Like I actually grew up in Brisbane, spent some time in Sydney, and came back here to the Gold Coast. I've been here since '98. Okay, on and off. And to me, it's like the town is filled with superstars. And maybe it's only the fact that we're so far away from the rest of the world that is probably a great thing. But there's some great kids that are creating these labels in this city.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
and maybe it's only because our population is low, but I know that so many people travel to this city all the time. They think of us as somewhere to end up. Like, wow, I'd love to live there one day if I could. And
yeah, man, it's a real dichotomy too, because there's the public, the greater public, the Australian view of the Gold Coast, which immediately gets focused to Suffrus Parasite, and not the overall area of the region. Yeah. But there's that view. But underneath that, as you said, there's always been a great core of good people doing their own things, in a really conducive atmosphere to going out and doing that.
Yeah.
Whether it's the surf industry or bikes or, even to a degree, the arts and that sort of thing. I think it might also be born from a desire to possibly escape it in some ways, given all the glitter and false surface level shit that emanates from surfers and the whole what's going on today and over the weekend with the
race.
The race, mate.
I was mentioned on Rock Quiz last night.
Were you really?
Yeah, for real.
Oh, the guitar.
Man. I've seen it. Well, I'm not.
It's huge.
But this is how it happened. Our guitar player in this band, he somehow was picked to be a panelist on, just random in the show. What's your name, mate? Steve. Okay, Steve Lawson. Okay, jump up here, and he panelled for some reason. I don't really know the show well, but he had to sing. How's that?
Great song, man.
Yeah. Well, there's a bit in that show where you sing, right?
Yeah.
And before he did it live on the show, he's like a dork. He turned to his girlfriend Sarah, with a mic in his hand, with the host, what's the name beside him? Anyway,
Julia Zamiro.
yeah. Oh, wait, Sarah, can you record this because I want to show Drew? And then everyone was like, "What are you doing?" And then they did this song. So yeah, it was
unreal.
I just got it sent this morning.
That's Drew Cruck. That's Drew Cruck, ladies and gentlemen. Drew Cruck.
Love it, mate.
Versus the Gold Coast.
No, but I love that stuff. Little, that's living, mate.
It is,
You
man.
know, here's my thing that Facebook, like you said, you're off Facebook and I was off Facebook last year. I'm so hooked. I mean, seriously hooked in a bad way. But I'm starting to live my entire life. Now I've got Instagram. Someone told me to get on Instagram. My entire life, just like my mate.
Someone told me, so I had to do it.
Well, no, more like this.
We're all individuals.
Yeah, but check this out, right? This explains it. My mate explains it best. I rang him up once I came in from Japan the day before I found out about iron and resin. And I turned to my mate who's got a Harley, Mike Chavot up in Isla Capri. I went, Mike, we're going to do this distinguished gentleman's ride. And he went, yeah. I said, yeah, you got to wear a suit. And you can have your girl on the back. He goes, oh, that's great. It'll look good on Facebook. I went, yeah, you're with me, mate. You're with me. It will. And then what are we going to do tomorrow? I don't know. We'll have to create something else in our minds that it looks good on Facebook.
Oh,
it's
man.
a different world.
Yeah, hey.
We just keep pumping out these things that look good on Facebook.
Yeah, look, I'm an old dude that comes late to a lot of this shit because I've got a real...
But you're good on Instagram. I get a real kick out of seeing the bikes. It sounds... look, I'm with you, mate. I was born in 72. You're probably a bit older than me. I don't know.
I'm a lot older than you,
Yeah,
man, but you're closer than a lot of other people.
But we were born in that time before all that stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely, man.
So we still joke, you and I would still go, what's this bloody Instagram's crap?
Yep.
But we still get hooked on it. I think it's like
I
the
love
new
it, man.
fireplace. These phones, you stare into fireplaces. To me, the phone is that's the new thing. You don't look at the TV anymore so much, but the fireplace is in your hand now. So it's just light and color. And I can actually like your stuff on Instagram.
Thanks, mate.
But we'll talk about your stuff in Europe soon, but I can tell you're a well-travelled bloke with a good eye for bikes and good eye for things. And
Man, I love things, I love bikes, and I love the world, but oddly enough, mate, I've set foot out of Australia once, and that was to the west coast of the States.
Wow.
I've always been a huge student of geography and history, and I mean, that's what I was doing at uni before I dropped out to become a muso bum.
Really? Who got you into that? Why? Someone in the family? No?
Probably an inquisitive, only kid. Old man in the Navy as an officer, and really smart, self-made dude as well. Like joined as an ordinary seaman in 1939, and then worked his way up to become a commander.
Right. So he saw the world.
Well, he did, but he was just inquisitive and always forced me to ask questions if you're not sure. Better to ask the question now and seem a little bit stupid than to not ask the question and 6 years down the track appear like a complete fucking clown.
Yeah.
And always loved reading and, until the advent of bloody Instagram and my discovery of computers in 2005 or something. I was a voracious reader and buyer of magazines and books and that sort of stuff, but it has waned, but I still have quality time on the dunny where I've got a substantial toilet room library that gets serious attention. I mean, being a bloke,
we don't
go there just to. It's like women with shopping, man. Yeah. We go to shop and get the hell out.
Yeah.
But we do the opposite on the bog.
Yeah.
We go to the dunny to sit down, have a relax, have a read, and then...
It's official. No one can bug you.
Exactly. Stay out. I'm in the library.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's still pretty sacrosanct to me. I don't necessarily have a shed, but I've got a great dunny set up.
Yeah, why? No shed?
Well, I've got a shed. It's a garage, but it's got a dead AP6 in it in one side.
What's that? What is
65 Valiant.
Have you? APs? Oh.
A Valiant, mate. I bought him. I bought my Valiant from his original owner, Mr. Italo Zarella.
Wow.
He bought him new in 1965, mate.
From where?
Adelaide.
Oh,
So what sort of a perfect heritage is that for an Aussie valiant, eh?
is that the push button auto?
No, man, that was the AP. That was the AP5. Sorry, this is the AP6.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, Italian heritage with a wog chariot. For God's sake, it's
I had
perfect.
a '67 Merc, 250S. I painted it matte black, put white walls on it, right? But the interesting story about that was it was a one owner from this little old lady. A mate I knew said, "Hey mate, do you want a $2,000 car? It's been sitting under her house forever in Brisbane."
Yeah,
I got it, towed it back, opened the glove box, and
the Cougar. Are we talking here?
No, the 250S, just a 4-door Mercedes.
Oh, sorry, man. I thought you meant Mercury, as in,
of
but
course.
You're talking.
I saw a great one of those this morning.
200 or a 220.
250, yes.
Right.
So
okay.
it's no headrest. The cool little, but the cool story in this is, it was one owner. Got it back to the Gold Coast.
Man.
And I opened the glove box. The whole thing had never had a radio on it. All timber dash.
That was like this dude.
Aircon.
Because that would have come with a radio unless you ticked radio delete.
It had the little
and this
thing.
guy had ticked, because it was the Valiant was the Regal, which was the top version.
Yeah.
But he ticked the radio delete button because he used to sing every time they went to church on a Sunday. He'd sing. Sorry, go on.
When the moon...
Like a big pizza pie, that's amore.
Anyway, so I opened this glove box in this 67 Merc, and I lived in the Garfield building in Surfers Paradise.
Yep, know it well.
Yeah? Well, only one...
I've done 100 mile an hour up that straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, a long time ago.
They got speed bumps there, I think. Yeah? No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it's not conducive.
Anyway, the Isle of Capri, there used to be that service station right there. It's knocked down now. It's a bunch of... about 20 delis in one spot. Yeah? That's where she bought it in 1967, brand new.
No
It had every service until about 1987. And then, in later years, she had to go to Brisbane. It sat under the house there for another 20 years. It was just meant to be, but the bloody thing had to park in Surfers Paradise, and the rust got so bad that the doors actually delaminated.
It happened so quickly, mate.
Yeah, but the best cars ever, mate. 60s, the 60s for design, car design. So that Valiant, you must have, just everything about them,
It's a classic thing, mate. Look, the funny thing about Chrysler in particular as a greater corporation, Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge, is that they pushed the envelope so hard on style that they, in most cases, they either had a win or they had a shocking fail. There wasn't much middle ground with the Mopar organisation. So they had a lot of cars that a lot of people have always thought are just ugly.
Yeah.
Then they've had killers like the Cougar, obviously, and the Challenger and that sort of stuff. But what they did do, man, they made the toughest motors, like all the vintage drag cars, the Hemi, the 392s, and even the smaller one before the 426 had come out. It's all Chrysler shit, man. It's just like
I still like how they even now they're making kind of aggressive shapes with their, they could have gone any which way, but someone in their brand is going, no, people out there, we can still make a family sedan 4-wheel drive, but it's got to have some aggro about it. That's dead set. That's really nice in this day and age to see that. But, good cars. Here's to you, mate.
You too, mate. This coffee's lovely. You've and out of me little.
We'll have some more later.
Out of me little well-known homemakers cup.
My mate calls it Bummings. Just coming down to Bummings.
Man, I think the Gold Coast has got it particularly lucky. Is that we've got a golf course, a pub, and now a homemaker's store per head of population. It's just perfect, really. Yeah, more DIY.
Yeah.
Yeah, or DIY.
You play golf? I don't.
No, mate, no. I used to. I used to enjoy it. Yeah. The walking thing gave me the shits on occasion, but I used to enjoy it. But no,
not for me. I've got a theory now that because I've been to so many sales conference sort of things, and here's to anyone that likes that thing. But I always look like you golfers are assholes. Someone
just put it out there. Golfers, you're assholes.
I'm yet to meet one that, and then I'm just joking. But
He's just joking now. He's just
I actually took
sudden retraction for legal purposes.
I actually stole that from a comedian I heard once say it, and I never forgot it. I went, there's something about those guys that wake up.
Not Bill Hicks.
4 a.m.
He hated a lot of people. I love Bill Hicks.
I love Bill Hicks.
I love Bill Hicks.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to hear more of him actually.
Shame, yeah.
So
all about
what's
pushing
a
the
good
envelope.
wine then? You know, here's my story. Is I didn't really drink until I was 26. You know, and then